Now I will explain the setup of my lab. That is background information for the demos. ADFS will only run in a Windows domain. And if you use it as an identity provider, then the accounts must be from the AD. If you want to make an IDP with a non-AD account store, then you have to buy another product or use DubIF to build your own IDP. So a domain, that means a domain controller. The name of the domain is PSRes, as in plural side PS, resource res. I've set up DNS, including forwarding from the lab to the real internet, etc., etc. Nothing special, but my domain controller does have a certificate authority. I use a Microsoft Enterprise Root CA for the user and the server certificates. I don't like using self-signed certificates because it is so much more work. Now our first ADFS server. It is green, and in the demos you can recognize the servers by their color. Other servers have other colors. In heavily loaded and or geographically dispersed site, you would use farms. Farms are nothing special. If you know how to run your own ASP.NET website on a farm, then you understand how ADFS runs in a farm. Instead of a single local database with the configuration, it will run from a replicated Windows internal database. But in the demos we use a standalone ADFS server. For proof of concept and test configuration, that's perfect. This server has Visual Studio, then ADFS 2 and the WIF SDK installed on it. We have another domain controller, now PSPAR as in partner. Same thing, set up DNS, etc., IAS and the certificate authority, get certificates. I install Visual Studio on any machine that I can get my hands on. So even my domain controller in this course has Visual Studio 2010 installed. We do want to use Visual Studio to customize web.config files, etc. And of course the rest of ADFS, DubIF, etc., just like our first ADFS server, was installed on this one too. I actually have another full ADFS server just like the first one in this domain, but in the demos I mainly use it as a workstation with browser. And then almost at the end of this course, in the ADFS and DubIF setup module, we will actually do the setup of an ADFS server and install a WIF application.